Hey guys, it's your boy Jable here. Today we're going to be talking about 3 specific YouTubers. 1 that counts me in, and 2 that you should know by now in the community post that I made earlier. This video isn't meant to attack any of those 2 or even me. It's just to point out a few things that happened nearly a year ago, which many people continue to drag over a small beef that happened between all 3 of us. Because with full sincerity, I am responsible for a few things that happened in the beef, and also the other 2 are responsible for a lot of other things. But anyways, like I said, this isn't meant to attack anyone. This is meant to open the minds of many other people who continue to drag drama unnecessarily and just to get their attention. Let's start from the beginning. On October 10th, 2024, a YouTuber known as Cash Rainer made a video stating his personal opinion over the Strongest Battlegrounds content, where he said that the content was basically horrendous due to the fact that most of the content was basically staged. Not only did he speak about 2 specific other YouTubers that were considered weird and still considered weird today, he talked about one specific YouTuber for Roblox's Strongest Battlegrounds content known as Humbled. And of course, I have to agree because I used to be one of Humbled's subscribers, and the entire content began to get boring since I realized it was all staged content, the same thing. The entire toxicity didn't make any sense. I literally got bored of it. And also, it was tiring to see the entire thing of insults, and not to mention it could be changed, but at the same time it isn't. So now, on October 11th, 2024, Cash Rainer made a video responding to another YouTuber who was known as Payback back in the day, but is now known as Upside Central, who is someone who I'm affiliated with. Upside made a video stating, like, it was like some sort of debate. Like Upside was saying, no, his content isn't trash. And the other debate was Cash Rainer saying, yes, it is trash. It is completely horrendous. It was basically a nearly political debate, if you could put it that way. But in full sincerity, it felt childish. I found out about this beef when I was just scrolling through one of my YouTube feeds, and there was basically nothing much. It was just, oh, maybe this guy has a point. And yes, he did say this point that TSB content is basically horrendous at this point. Not to criticize, but it's true. I mean, who can lie about it? But Upside didn't see it that way, so he thought about making a video disagreeing. But that's when the opinion of Upside went downhill. He basically started to insult Cash, saying that he was salty, that he was jealous, that he didn't have the exact content as Humbled. And that's where things started to go off. At this point, Upside just literally blew off his own opinion. He basically cussed at Cash Rainer. I know it wasn't a smart idea for how he responded, and pretty much that made his reputation go from a positive one to a negative reputation. On October 12th, 2024, Cash Rainer made another video yet again, responding to Upside, but not to mention to just say how he's being like bullied or cyberbullied or harassed at that time. This wasn't a debate anymore. This was basically a straight up beef. And that's where things began to go to bad to even worse. They basically tried to expose one another, but Cash Rainer was the one who provided more proof. But that wasn't the quote-unquote worst part of the beef. So let's move on to October 26, 2024, when Cash responds to Upside once again over something that Upside made nearly a year ago about debunking Cash's responses. It wasn't that good, in my honest opinion, not to be like on everyone's side or anything. It's just it wasn't a good response to be debunking something over a simple opinion. And Cash did explain it was just an opinion where many people cited and agreed that it was addressed. But like I said earlier, Upside did not see it that way, and this is where I come in. On October 30th, 2024, I made my first video about the drama, and let me just be honest, at that time my channel was completely dead and the content that I was making was actually so dry. I was basically not moving on with my amount of subscribers, and I wasn't even moving on with the amount of views I was getting. Even though I tried so hard to get as many views, even as subscribers, just to get a little bit more popularity, it just didn't work out. So I decided just to talk about beefs and allegations. That's because I found it as a point where I could grow. Now, on November 2nd, 2024, a YouTuber known as Nana's Kitchen, a Roblox TSB or even any battleground game YouTuber, made a video where he fought Upside in Roblox Heroes Battlegrounds. Since Upside did challenge Cash Rainer to do a simple 1v1, Nana's Kitchen decided to step in and to handle the dirty work for Cash. Upside didn't win, and Nana's Kitchen was the only one who was victorious. The next 26 days that passed by. On November 28th, 2024, Cash Rainer came up with another video that said the worst TSB YouTuber exposed, which meant that he exposed Upside for saying things that actually were insulting to him, but also that seemed racist and also homophobic. On that same day, I came out with my video where I talked about the drama and said that who was practically responsible thanks to the proof. I made another video on November 29th, 2024, where I also said that Cash Rainer was in the right and Upside was in the wrong, and he was guilty for saying all that. Practically all the proof was taken from Cash's video, and I did not mean to steal anything from his content. I just used it for proof and all for that purpose. Later on, many other small content creators began to jump in and start making their own videos on Upside, but there was also one in particular that also jumped in, and that YouTuber is well known as Snowbrick69. On December 1st, 2024, Snowbrick69 made a YouTube video on the small channel beef, which involved Upside and Cash Rainer. He basically elaborated the entire thing in one single video and explained how this all went down, and he further explained it more in detail. Now, to make it more simpler for you guys, since I was also part of the drama, and I also got involved so much with Upside and beefing with him and exchanging insults through our discords and all that, I want to just clarify the dates just to make sure it doesn't get too much of my video. I'm not lazy, okay? I'm just gonna make this clear. So the dates are from December 15th, 2024 all the way to December 29th, 2024. Along those dates is where I posted around 3 videos about Upside when I was trying to respond towards his videos. I made a short about him. I admit it. I started beefing with him because I made a short and I glazed myself, and also many of his fans started to attack me. Later on, when he saw the short, he made one about me and called me Cash Rainer's lapdog. That's where everything started. The first one that came out was when I responded to him. The second one was when I exposed him from all the Discord DMs. And pretty much I just found it baseless nearly. It was nearly all entirely baseless. And also the last one that I made when I was still beefing with him, I just made the last video where I just wanted to be left alone. At that time, Cash Rainer left me in charge of the entire situation, and I thought I had everything handled. But I didn't. That's the truth. I didn't have everything completely handled because the entire thing just, say, defend yourself and all that. Because all the accusations were baseless except the part where Upside said that he was only saying that out of pure anger. And that's where it hit me hard in the head. If Cash Rainer made a video calling Upside a meat writer and all that shit of insults, he just called him that way because he was mad of Upside calling him the insults at the very beginning. It was basically a fire against fire. It was like I said it in a different video, it was anger against anger. And I said it was nearly some way of provoking him. After many months of beef, including the many days and confrontation and so many things, Upside made a live stream on that day. But unfortunately, he took it down because of so much backlash that many people continued to harass him for. But luckily, I made a video about it, even though it took me a long while to edit key points, even though it's just a 1 hour video. But let me just get this straight. Upside said in the live stream that he just wanted everyone to listen to him. But here's the thing, and I want to point out a responsibility he should have had. Instead of charging in on the drama with his anger first rather than thinking straight, he simply just responded with anger. And I get it that he disrespected Cash. He drew something about him hanging himself or his cat hanging himself. I get that. I get what he did was wrong. But I'm also responsible for something that I did. I harassed him at first. I harassed him through Discord. I called him a hypocrite. I did the exact thing what Cash said in his videos. That he was homophobic, that he was racist, all that he said about him. I went with the flow of what he said about Upside. I get that. I'm responsible for that, and I have a full regret of saying it. I jumped into conclusions instead of actually getting the information, and I went into the misinformation. You're probably saying, what misinformation? And the proof is in the Discord messages. Okay, you can't always say that this person is racist, this person's homophobic, unless they actually say it, unless it's actually intentional. Upside responded out of anger. You should all understand that. Don't you ever get that feeling that always there's something in this world that will provoke you and you'll say something out of the ordinary that isn't you? I'm pretty sure everyone's gone through that. And also for Cash, he's responsible. His fan base, he never addressed to his fan base that the drama was over, that everyone should stop harassing or cyberbullying Upside or making unnecessary comments. Like the SYBAU gang trend or something like that. This person right here is literally a child making these comments that are completely stupid and immature, trying to rage bait Upside. And he already made a post like saying how long are you going to continue for this, and he even said a racial slur. Like, come on, how is a little kid in this generation racist? And then there's this kid, I don't know if it's a kid, but I'm pretty sure it is. He says that he's also black and he takes stuff as an insult. So you're saying that you get insulted just because he said something in the past, like the racial slurs and all that. Upside already said that he's not racist. I know he said those words. I get he used the N-word incorrectly. But take this example. If I were to say the N-word to someone that's a dark-toned skin person, I would be considered racist because I can't say that word. If a dark-toned skin says that name towards me, I can't be taken offense because that's not racist towards me. A fact that many of you who make rage bait comments don't even fucking realize that you're insulting someone over a mistake, over something that wasn't that big of a deal, over a piece of content that someone considered horrendous and someone who thought that this person isn't trash at their content. So you're saying to me that Upside committed more than an offense than the other people that have allegations that have been exposed for many criminal activities, even doing illegal things. How come you guys don't insult those people or even try to support many of those who try to stop them? How come you don't support the people who become victims of those people who are actually criminals, who've done illegal things? How come you don't insult them? Huh? It's generally so fucking sad how the community these days lets down many people over something that happened nearly a year ago that is so small that it's just over some content. How come you guys don't even support the victims? And I am not going to call out names. There is many recent allegations, even criminal activity of what these people have done. You already know many of them, and they animate shorts. You already know that those are the people that you should target, but not this. And now let me just bring up the responsibilities that each three of us had, that we were supposed to take action before this could have gotten any worse. 1. For Cash Rainer. If he knew that the drama was over and knew that both him and Upside were in good terms, he could have made a simple response video saying that the drama is over, that Upside and I are in good hands. We're good. We're done. The drama's over. Don't drag it. Please do not send harassment. That could have ended this amount of people making such stupid comments on this channel. That would have been good. But no, of course not. Cash Rainer is so busy making different videos that he puts the excuse, oh, I'm sorry, I forget. How come you forget, but many of your fan base doesn't forget what Upside did, and you don't clarify that? 2. For Upside. If he ever wanted to make an opinion that he wanted to disagree on, such as what happened nearly a year ago, he could have simply not cussed out Cash Rainer or insult him over his own content, comparing him to a different content of somebody else's. And that was a horrible idea he did back then. But now he regrets what he did, and all he wants is for people to move on and let him do his thing. Let him do his content. And for me, 3. I should have never harassed Upside on Discord or even called him out and went with a flow of misinformation about him. If I haven't done that, things could have been calmer and things could have been solved in a more civilized manner. The thing is, All three of us were immature at that time. We didn't know how to handle a simple beef correctly. We only responded with anger, throwing insults at each other, just to find a way to get each other's backs off one another. And if what I said was a way of attacking all of those two, including myself, I am sorry, but that's the hard truth and I want to let that out. And the reason why I want to do this is because it seems that many immature idiots that in this community keep attacking those who are affiliated with Upside. Surprisingly, nobody attacks me, but it looks like many people continue to attack this person, someone who he was good friends with Upside, just because he was affiliated with him. Like, how fucking immature can people be in this generation, bro? Stop attacking people who had nothing to do with that situation. That's all I have to say about this, guys. All three of us are responsible for immature actions and including our words. I had to admit mine, but it looks like I have to call out cash readers too. And once again, I did not mean to attack any of these people, okay? This is just to spread awareness. And if many people can get that, then let them go. Because I am not going to argue with these childish comments just to open their thick skulls and try to give them a nearly one-page essay on how immature they are online. Before the video ends, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. That way all of this drama dragging can end. That way, all of us can continue with our lives, and hopefully many people can quit being the little children they are in the internet.